Hello everyone. When we learn obstetric and gynecology, this chapter of urinary incontinence or this urinary problems remains very confusing to the students and to us because we don't have the habit of studying the urinary cycle, the micturition cycle, and the problem caused by that. The very important thing here you need to understand the basic concept behind this urinary incontinence in females is very gynecological. It's not just for urinary or urological peoples, because there are basically two types of continence is there. You need to understand the basic concept here. This is the bladder. The bladder has two sphincter. The first one is internal sphincter and the second one is external sphincter, as you can see here. If you identify the difference between that internal urinary sphincter is involuntary in nature. It is controlled by autonomic nervous system, while the US is external urinary sphincter is totally voluntary in nature, and that tonic contraction of US is by a very tonic contraction of pelvic floor muscle, which is actually there, and that is voluntary. You can control it. So we have a basic two different situation here. IUS is involuntary. It is controlled by autonomic nervous system. And we know that there are two basic autonomic nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic fiber reaches to this urinary bladder and urethral joint is T10 to L3. When this sympathetic nervous system is activated, you must know that all the things like the sympathetic nervous system is activated when there is a run situation. You have to run. There is a problem and you need to run. You need to save your life. So in this condition, there will be sphincters will be contracted. All the sphincters like anal sphincter, urinary sphincter, internal urinary sphincter will be contracted. So you will have a decreased sense of void even if you have a full bladder. So when there is a urge, when you feel the urge of urination, when the bladder is full, and it sends the signals to the central nervous system through autonomic nervous system. But again, when the sympathetic nervous system is activated, you have less urge of voiding. Similarly, in the parasympathetic system, when this system is activated, which is supplied by S2, S3, S4, now it is a relaxing situation and all the sphincter you would like to relax. So again, detrusor contraction will be there associated with timely IUS relaxation, and you will have a void urgence, or you can actually void at that time peacefully. When there is a problem in this system, that is autonomic nervous system, and that is a physiological problem in these systems, so you will have urge urinary incontinence. What is urge urinary incontinence? That means you have a urge to void, and with that urge you cannot adequately stop your urination, but you can stop. So this is the urge urinary continence. But if this thing is in problem, the external uretary sphincter is in problem, then you don't have a urge, because the bladder may not be full, but the tonic contraction of pelvic floor muscle is lost due to weakness of pelvic muscle that happens generally after menopause. So they become loose, and that's why there is an incontinence. Even if you try to stop it, you can just somehow will be successful for some percentage, but you cannot stop it completely. When there is a intra-abdominal pressure will be raised, you will have a leaking of urine. That is called stress urinary incontinence. What is stress urinary incontinence? Lot of people have confusion regarding this word stress. They think that it is a mental stress. No. The stress means there is a increased intra-abdominal pressure. If the intra-abdominal pressure is increased, there will be leakage of urine due to inadequate tone of EUS, due to weak relaxed pelvic floor muscle. And this is the same reason why uterine prolapse also happens. So this stress urinary incontinence and uterine prolapse are most of the time happen in the same time. Okay, so if the patient comes to you with stress urinary incontinence, you would like to examine the patient for any prolapse also. Now you know the reason behind this two type of incontinence, and then you have also the management idea about this incontinence. If we have a urge urinary incontinence, then this is a physiological condition, and if it is a stress urinary incontinence, it is an anatomical problem. So if the urge urinary incontinence is there, you can treat it by some medication which will affect the autonomic nervous system. Just like muscarinic system, alpha receptor, beta receptor, all these receptor drugs will be used to prevent this thing. But for stress urinary incontinence, which is an anatomical problem, you either you want to strengthen that muscle, that pelvic floor muscle. There are two ways of strengthening the muscles. Once you do the exercise, that is Kegel's exercise, and if it is not adequate, then you would to go like for surgical correction. So now you understand, surgical correction is required in most of the time for stress urinary incontinence. So this was a very basic thing about urinary incontinence. In next video we will see stress urinary incontinence and its treatment. Thank you.